Nancy Gowan is the president of Gowan Consulting, a health and disability management service provider located in the Greater Toronto Area. She spoke with us about the best practices for implementing a return-to-work program. Why is it important for an employer to encourage a return-to-work program?
Employers are really looking to be globally competitive these days. And so having employees off work is costly to the employer and the employee. Employers can spend up to 12% of their payroll costs on the cost of looking after an injured or ill employee. And so reducing those costs through return to work can be very helpful. And when someone's off work, they're losing an employee that they've spent time training, they've spent time recruiting, giving the resources and the talent to do the job productively. And these days with our aging society, we want to ensure that we're keeping employees on the job, that we have trained and not lose talented resources.
Once an employee is injured, what are the best practices for getting him back to work successfully?
The Institute for Work and Health actually gave us 7 principles of return to work that helped to reduce the duration and cost of someone being off work. The first component is that an employer truly needs to understand the legal implications of having someone off work and understand the costs and the business issues of having someone away from the workplace. They also need to ensure that the supervisors are trained on how to approach an individual who has an injury or illness and make an early and considerate contact with that worker from the supervisor as soon as that employee goes off work. The next thing is really offering a good modified or accommodated process to bring an employee back to work. In the past, we would have said, wait till you're 100% and come back. What we know now that offering modified work and offering adjustments to the workplace can allow someone to come back earlier and to be coming back more successfully. So offering things like what can you do, what the person is capable of doing, instead of focusing on what someone can't do. We do have to acknowledge and respect medical restrictions and make sure that the return to work is safe, but we want to make sure that the individual is coming back and doing work that is meaningful and productive and using their capabilities and skill set. The next piece is really having a meaningful contact between the healthcare provider and the workplace. The healthcare provider needs to understand that you as an employer have a very good return to work and flexible return to work program. And also you need to understand from the healthcare provider what the person would be restricted from doing to make sure that they're safe when they come back to work. The next thing is having a return to work coordinator, someone who can help the employee and the supervisor and the union all work together to develop return to work. The next thing is looking at working in collaboration with the union or with labor. So in a unionized workforce, having that collaboration and have the union at the table helping with return to work can help in the process of finding suitable work, making sure that the employee is treated fairly, and also ensuring that the recovery process is healthy for that employee. We also want to make sure that when you're implementing a return to work program, that you have implementation of what they call ergonomic worksite visits, or having someone actually go out and look at the program that you've put in place, that the employee has the right tools in place, has the right support in place, that what you actually wrote down as a return to work process is happening in the workplace. And so that involves a lot of monitoring, and so making sure that you monitor the return to work program is an important piece. What we find is a lot of people will focus on health issues, what they can't do, but helping that return to work focus on what the job requires and what the person can do, and making sure that the supervisor feels comfortable managing that employee through the process